Welcome back, everybody. Dren608 plays, playing Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Looks like we still have to go kill Discari. Well, I guess we're going to the Abyss. I don't think we're strong enough to take him on, but we're going to go there. Let's go to the Abyss. I know watch the sunrise knowing in this land, no, the entire world is no longer the threat of demonic darkness. Here we go. To the Abyss. I am the flame. Once and for all in his realm. If I can get myself healed up before I have to fight him. If I have to fight him right away, I'm screwed. Okay. We have got a whole lot of scroll shit we gotta do here. Restores. Should I just use resurrections on everybody? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 resurrections. 1. Well, let's see if that works first.
The goddess protects us.
If I use a resurrection on myself. Yep, it works. Okay. We're gonna waste resurrections. Where are they? I have to get like 4 more. I have to get more. More resurrections. Where are they?
Let me help. My will is resolute.
Jesus. And then we gotta do a resurrection on Ember. Where's my book? Book! I've used that up. Don't need to carry that. Use that up. Don't need to carry that. I need another resurrection. To use on Ember. About a scroll of heal. Or 3. Where are the heals? Damn it. Maybe cleanse, destruction, heroisms. I've got regular heals. I can do a heal mass and then like a regular heal. Okay. First off, resurrection on Ember. And then heal mass. And a heal on her.
Rely on me.
Okay. These are still up for a little while, so let's go find this dude. There he is. It's a very big bug. Tainted Retriever Watcher. Oh god, I can't even fight him. I have to fight other things first. Damn it. Why is he not healed?
I will lend you my aid.
Damn it, I thought I cast that on him. He doesn't have any protections on. Neither does he. Neither does he. Neither do I. God. He's missing protections.
The world has suffered enough.
We just have to go without the Sonics. Don't have death wards up. She has some death
You're a good
wards.
person. I
use up some of her 4th level spells here. Just cast one of those on herself. Who doesn't? One on land. One on Social.
I will defend my
Aw,
dreams.
Jesus. Not on my horse. Really hate this. Really hate that they keep kicking you off your horse. That's your whole point of being, is being on your frickin' horse.
Make your peace.
So you need to cast this on everybody so we can see things. And let's just go ahead and spam out. Some divas. Bismuth. Oh, that thing's just gonna tear you to shreds. Why can I not see it? Damn. Let's go run away from me. Aru. Shoot that
I
one.
will resist.
Shoot one. Run away. Man, you can only shoot once.
Make every strike count.
Oh, you can shoot him several times. Now he's gonna run away. Can I actually get to him? I need to do my sword. Sword of Heaven is still up for 7 minutes. So I can just go. Can I charge him? Let's go charge him. Do lots more damage when I charge. Ember, you were going to cast this on Social, because he doesn't have one. And neither Land does, he doesn't, she does. Social's the one that's missing. Everybody else has one up, right? Okay. And then you could... That's all you can do. Alright, our haste is off. It's a long way to run to try and catch those things. There's a guy in here somewhere. I don't know why I can't see him. I have to up True See. There he is. He's running away. It's also... don't need to summon anymore. I'm gonna have you put that on yourself. This one's gonna have you move over here, kinda towards everybody else. Aru can't really move that far. Can't really shoot him. You shoot this guy? He's still too far away? Nope, you get off one
You
shot.
crossed the wrong
You
mongrel.
moved too far. Go charge him.
Good guys always win.
Did a lot of damage. Ember. Just move up here. Can't get up there, just move up by me.
That's all you've got.
It's also, do you have your armor on? No, you don't. Oh. I'm gonna run right into Descari before I'm ready. You know something? I'm actually going to move back. She's going to move forward. And get a scroll. Do we have any more? We got a bunch of haste. Still level 5 haste here. Didn't haste those guys, but that's okay. Why are they still running from me? Damn it! Oh, I get so tired of this.
You won't survive me.
We're gonna be scattered all over creation.
Got this.
I knew it.
Mortal gnat! How dare you fly into my realm?
Well, I got a 61 to do an intimidate.
He was just an echo.
I closed the world wound.
You closed the world wound. So what? You may have delayed my plans, but you will not stop me. No, I will not die at the hand of this former mortal.
attack? Do I get to attack him? What's going on? I mean, I've got no spells whatsoever. Throw at him. That's worth a damn. Do I have everybody here? If we're all together, I'm just gonna go do this. And say I'm done. There he comes. If you had a chance, as if you had a choice, Demon, you don't get a say in whether you live or die. It is not your decision to make. It's Behringer. Okay, I'm gonna get some more people to show up here, I guess. Now it's time for you to pay for all the evil you have caused since the moment of your creation. Here we go. That's Targona. Behringer and Targona, I think. And this is going to be, is this Lariel? Time for us to take a stand against all the evil if you will don't check. I think that's Lariel. Yeah. Man, you guys take a long time to do this. Gonna be someone show up behind you. That's gonna be Yanel. Put dreads in it for every fallen crusader. Yeah, that sounds like Yanel. It's kind of awful lot of crap here. Every tear that was shed in Sarkos, that's Eliana. Everything you have done. Do I get the hand of the inheritor too? And now we get to fight. Okay. Alright, who's up? Ember? Do we have a scroll left of Icy Prison Bass? You're going to try that. Try to knock down some. I mean, they probably all made their save. Well, he didn't make it. Valor's made it. That's all she can do. Is that all she can do? What the hell? Oh, she could have charged that one. Well, that was stupid. And a waste. Go, Hades. And kill my dino. That's what happens. You broke it. Who did you hit? Do I summon Diva or something? Okay. Okay. I can cast that free. No, it's not. I thought I had it. You're going over there! There's a Valor right in front of you. Well, shoot him.
Prepare yourself.
Land, you have a midnight bolt, don't you? Let's hit him with a midnight bolt.
Endure this!
Wow. Well, I can't do anything about him. longsword do again? It's an evil outsider bane longsword, so it's gonna do lots of extra damage. Even more than the spear, I think. The question is, what do I hit first? I have to move to hit. I can't charge anything, I don't think. Can I get off a charge on anything? I could charge the Scar, and just start banging on him, but he's gonna hit me really hard. Because I have no armor class. Aw, crap. Can't charge these guys. Why can't I hit him? For the love of Mike! Come on! Damn it, where did it go?
Guess I'm done with spells for tonight. Guess I'm done with spells for tonight.
What the hell?
Guess I'm done with spells for tonight.
Why is it unavailable?
Guess I'm done with spells for tonight.
Oh, it's a swift action. So why can't I do it? And they all will saved. Damn it. I got nothing left. Except to try and hit him, which I can't do because these guys have ridiculous armor classes. I don't know why it won't let me hit this one. Why won't it let me hit things?
Damn you!
Come on, get angry. Type. That one's no good. Use this one. Hit the Scary. Okay, so did absolutely nothing to him. Should be shooting this guy. Should be shooting him. Alright, is this the thing you smited? I don't know what I'm fighting anymore. There's one there, there's one here. Let's fight this one. And swing on it.
The light. Take you.
So. I don't know what to do. guess I'll do that here. Bismuth, you can't really hit it, but might as well try. Where's my cursor? Go ahead. Got a little bit of damage on it. Ah, he's moved. These damn things. Let's get rid of this.
Desna, guide my hand.
Man. Let's hit the big guy.
Make every strike count.
And I'm going to... Can't charge, but it is an Outsider Bane weapon, so...
Are you still here?
Remember? Make you get angry. It's already empowered, so you can save your empowered one for later and use this one. Or better yet, yeah, use that on him. It's down to 240, and you can do it again. She's done. So yeah, you're gonna smite this bloody thing, and then try and hit it. I really hate that it zooms me in all the time.
Into the fray!
Took down my dino, that's okay. So.
Make your peace.
Land into
You've
this.
crossed the wrong mongrel.
It's up here somewhere. Go hit
You
it.
guys always win.
She should have one of these to throw there. And then run away from it. Celia! Let's use up another smite.
The Inheritor, guide my blade!
Let's also use one of these again. Let's get rid of this thing. All we have left is this thing. Oh, and that thing. One of those still out there. Aru,
I
Have at
will
it.
resist.
land, have at it.
You won't survive me.
I'm going to come back for the assassin thingy. Where's the assassin thingy? Where is it? There it is.
We got this.
15 minutes just passed. A ray of golden light
Know that
illuminates
I
your
will
face.
be happy to welcome you into heaven after your earthly deeds are completed, if you so desire.
A ray of golden light illuminates your face. You hear a solemn choir singing somewhere in the distance. Shining road appears before you, leading heavenward. The words of the goddess appear in your mind unbidden. Know that I will be happy to welcome you into heaven after your earthly deeds are completed, if you so desire. my time. We're at 30 minutes. I think this is the end.
They are waiting for you there, in the halls of heaven, where true angels belong.
The legions of heaven are in need of a new commander. Someone who will defend the innocent and remain steadfast in the face of evil. Will you accept my invitation? The gates of heaven await your arrival.
I have to do this, because that's what I did. I told him I was going to go back and straighten it all out. Alright, well, obviously there's choices here. You can just go. You do this. So I'm going to do this. I told my companions that I would return to Dresden once the world wound was closed. I promised to help restore order, to make it a city of goodness and light. I cannot break my promise.
It's all over. The world wound is closed, and Discari has been destroyed. The Rasping Rifts no longer have a demon lord, but a new monster could lay claim to this realm. Is there anything else you would like to do before we leave this abode of evil and horror?
Well, can I burn it in a cleansing fire? Burn it in a cleansing fire. Beat up my dino for the last time. Alright, can we leave now? Are we done? Are we done, drunk? Now what? Okay, we've done that. Come on, game, do something. Do something, game. Bright light streams from your hand and transforms into burning flame that consumes every surface it touches. The fire, it is from the upper planes of the depths of your heart, can reduce the rasping risk to smoldering ruins. Ash and smoke will all be the red of scary form and well. I gained 11,520 experience points. You performed an action that was lawful.
Let this be a lesson to every demon lord. They cannot torment the mortal world with impunity. Commander, today you have achieved the greatest victory of all. Your crusade is over, but your story is not finished. Your future awaits. Your glory will live on through the ages.
Yeah. Light breeze caresses your face, breath of fresh air. After everything you have endured, your home world of Galarian eagerly awaits your return. There will be no more long battles, no more pain or exhaustion. A new future awaits, a future full of hope and promise. End of dialogue. Uh-oh. Why am I going to Pharasma's court? That's Pharasma's court, isn't it? Life and death, destiny and great deeds, answers to mysteries, to search for one's true path. The mind can comprehend all of these, and then such concepts can be written down as a sequence of formulas, a series of lines, a chain of thought. Still, a moment always comes when it is time to wrap up, to reach a conclusion, to put a period at the end of the last sentence. The impossible rift, the bleeding wound that had tormented all of Galarian for 100 years was finally healed. The life and soul of the one who once inflicted this wound upon the world became the salve. With the death of the witch, Aurelia Vorless, the whirlwind she had created vanished as well. There's my picture over there. The holy flame that engulfed the Rhapsody Rifts was felt throughout the abyss. The anger and fear that overtook many abyssal lords almost led to creation of a coalition against heaven. But like many other demonic undertakings, this alliance crumbled to dust under the weight of strife. Even heaven had never known a greater miracle than that of the mortal who had vanquished the demonic power seated in him by another to ultimately become an angel, a true champion of Galarian. Okay. The Fifth Crusade may not have lasted long, but in that short time, Dresden became the commander's city. His bulwark, his citadel, unsurprisingly, he remained the ruler of the city and the surrounding lands after the spectacular victory at Threshold. Oh, I restored Sarkoros? The impact that the commander made upon the world was not confined to the elimination of the wound. Across all of Galarian, thousands of hearts were now aglow with the light. Defending actions made decisions aimed at protecting and saving the innocent. Of compassion, songs and legends about the commander spread across nations and cities, giving hope to the despondent, urging people to help each other in times of need. See? I just sent a member. The Holy Wardens preserved their brotherhood and would often launch raids against cultists and demons who who still skulked about the land. The two seasoned paladins, Yanel and Berenger, became to enjoy each other's company both in battle and in peace. Their age, similar personalities, and unusual fate brought them closer together. Wherever they appeared, they would always be followed by a crowd of young warriors and curious onlookers, all of whom craved to hear their stories or imbibe some of their wisdom and skill. Despite all of Qatar's efforts, word that he was alive quickly spread among the Sarkorian refugees and eventually reached. Learn about the sacrifice he made, and you persuaded him to tell the truth to make peace with both his friend and his pet. The years of his wife, and she had grown old but lived still. One day they met again under the stone tree after having spent almost 100 years apart. Eliandra, who had given almost her entire life over to duty, devoted herself to the revival of the former lands of Sarkoris. Temples of Pelura and other Sarkorian deities opened their doors once more, and the priests were eager to help heal the wounds of the people in the land. Okay. A leader of the Crusaders, the commander won their loyalty and obedience. Even in the Crusade's darkest hours, the commander found ways to restore the army's supply lines. His military acumen was beyond question. Under his leadership, the divided, poorly trained Crusader forces were reforged into an invincible army. Not invincible. Due to the chief success in diplomacy of the commander's diplomatic strategy, by the end of the war, Mendev's true political center was Dresden, not Narasan. After gaining the support of foreign rulers and finding allies in the capital, Dresden became the shining example of the new Mendev, one that was nurtured by the commander's ideas. Significance and accomplishments of the crusade were so great, you achieved considerable success in all areas of the military campaigns, that even a century after the end of the war, Dresden retained its prominence on the map of Afghanistan. The commander's diplomatic, military, and administrative talent turned the fortress into a key political player. There's the Queen. Shortly after the war, Queen Galfrey abdicated the throne of Mendev and departed Narasan to spend the rest of her long life with her beloved, the one who had helped her see that there was more to life than duty. Galfrey took up residence in Dresden, but for long afterward, envoys from Narasan strove to persuade her to return. Their entreaties were always met with a polite but firm refusal. Quite a number of Mendevians wanted to see the commander of the Fifth Crusade inherit the throne. Upon his return to Canabras, Holrin ranted and raged against those who had been governing the city in his absence. But contrary to all expectations, Holrin's inquisitors were far less vicious than in the days past. It seemed the time he had been spent fighting the remained ruler of Canabras, and the Fifth Crusade had tempered him somewhat. Okay. The chain of ward stones stood at the border of the former whirlwind as before. The angels inside them slowly drifted off into slumber, to wake again should ever evil again rear its head in these lands. I should have... There was a choice that I could have said that they had to be freed no matter what happened to me. I should have done that, because that's what I promised them. There's Noctilia. The victory over the Whirlwind changed many things, not just on Galarian, but in the Midnight Isles as well. Nocticula spent many days pondering the words of a certain UN member managed to influence Nocticula, young and fearless prophet. Before long, the Lady in Shadow openly renounced her realm and named herself the Redeemer Queen. Yay! It took it. Hey! This revolt against her own demonic nature transformed Nocticula, severed her ties to the Abyss, and brought her to Elysium, thereupon creating a realm named Midnight's Palette. The Redeemer Queen attained divine power and became the patroness of exiles. Oh, cool! Well, we did it. We made Noctilia the Redeemer Queen. The now vacant throne was instantly seized by Chimera, the Ardent Dream. However, her power could not compare to the might of the Lady in Shadow. The Midnight Isles, which had become a tempting prize for many demons, were plunged into chaos. The demon lord Baphomet suffered a defeat. The world wound was closed, and the convenient passage to Galarian was sealed along with it. Baphomet shifted his attention to the realms of the other demon lords. A cell of the Templars of the Ivory Labyrinth was soon discovered, and El Shanira. Garce. Demon Lord Daskari died his final death, and his cult perished with him. His followers and demonic minions entered the service of Daskari's sire, Pazuzu. Whether Pazuzu's terrifying rage stemmed from his offspring's demise or from his failure, none can tell. Oh, I missed one. Sorry. Elandrich returned to the Temple of Polaris Fall and resumed her service to her goddess. Pilgrims began to arrive, both to worship the goddess and honor the memory of the fallen defenders who had held the lines in obscurity for over a century. Many of those pilgrims remained at the temple and helped to restore it and purge the surrounding lands of the undead. Slowly, the life began to return to Sakaros. Gasmera was true to her word. The Winter Sun clan left the land of their ancestors, Once they had left the borders of the former Sarkoris, the clan split into several branches. One went to the wildlands of Numeria, others set off for free Varicia, where I'm from. A small group led by Gizmira chose to travel to Andoran, where they were lost among the many refugees fleeing other lands and other wars. The Winter Sun clan ceased to be. Tirabades were adamant about retiring from military service, leaving it all behind and escaping together, but urgent Eagle Watch business forced them to stay for a week, then for a month, then for many years. Even as Anivia cursed their lot, however, her eyes would shine with pride, for she was always the first to admit that Irabeth was not the kind of person who could do that. I helped her control her inner torment and tearing her heart again. The hand of the inheritor returned. She didn't heal in hand of corruption and returned him to heaven. The halls of his heavenly mistress, it was difficult for him to forgive himself for his transgressions and his fall. But there were still many places left throughout the multiverse where evil dwelt and injustice was being wrought, and the herald of Iomedae could not abide it. He picked up his sword again and rose to the defense of the weak and the defenseless. The abyssal boy named Zorges, I don't know how you pronounce it, had intended to leave the material plane, but a conversation with the commander after the victory over the world caused him to change his mind. The details of this conversation are unknown, but a week later, Zorges knocked on the door of the Pathfinder Society's Grand Lodge and was accepted into the society as a ward. It was the beginning of a long, adventurous saga. Is that one that's the next game? Commander's decision to destroy the Numerian device that he had captured in the Blackwater clan encampment had dire consequences. Free of the mechanism that inhabited and controlled it, the mysterious core of the device soon awakened and vanished in a flash of magical energy. Within weeks, Numerian hunters began to tell tales of strange construct they had encountered in the mountains. It was the skeleton of a machine of some sort, alien and incomprehensible, that had been built by people with hollow eyes. For many years, Venture Captain continued to wander Galarian in hopeless attempt to hunt down his nemesis, the Spinner of Nightmares. I finished this! Though she had long been dead, his madness drove him to hunt her time and again. He died too. His hunt ended on an old road in the River Kingdoms, where Hyler saw a group of monsters attacking an innocent family. He managed to save only one of them, a young girl who had been orphaned on that terrible night. Hyler took her in and was forced to temporarily halt to search for the Spinner. His pause lasted for a month, then a year. Abandoning his hopes of reuniting with Lori, Hyler found a new purpose in caring for another person. Over time, he was able to once again find joy and hope in his life, but he died. He died. In the scene, he fell with a knife in his chest. I'm so confused. Having rediscovered his own story, the storyteller renounced his fragile body to ascend to Pharasma's palace and become her usher. From that day onward, he took great care of the stories of all the souls that arrived at the court of the Lady of Graves. There in the halls of the Lady of Graves, the storyteller met the one who had been waiting for him, Kinney. Thief of secrets, Ereshkigal's prisoner, old friend, and well-meaning traitor, and never was there a reunion more treasured. Cool. Once again, Sela heard the call upon the open road. Even after gaining mythic powers and becoming face-to-face with the goddess and demon lord, she never stopped being a paladin and a wandering knight whose purpose was to help others. Staying true to friends was in Sela's blood, and it was said that even while journeying through the farthest reaches of Galarian, she tried her best to keep in touch with the commander. Their rare meetings were always filled with joy. Okay. Lan, having properly fulfilled his duty to the mongrels and to his surprise avoided death, Lan was suddenly faced with a choice, what to do with his life now that it wasn't going to end anytime soon. His hesitation did not last long, and just a few months later he went on a sea voyage to see the world he had saved. The first place Lan visited, however, was Neuroscience. He visited his mother and stayed with her until the road called to him once again. Okay. Ember rejoined the Redeemed Brotherhood. She never recognized herself as their leader or gave any orders, but their very presence inspired. Your joint adventures convinced Ember to keep believing in the inherent goodness of people and not only people. The former miscreants to perform great deeds. Over time, the Brotherhood grew into a major religious movement. Its preachers took a vow of poverty and walked the roads of Galarian, helping the needy, convincing villains to change their ways, and entreating both good and evil deities alike to be more merciful to mortal kind. The Fox. Nino. Soon after the war, the tireless researcher of all things researchable embarked on a new journey. She had a sudden urge to know how much time it would take to visit every nation on Galarian. She returned after a year and a half with a pile of notes which she promptly handed over to her assistant. After all, someone had to help her compile the entries for the first volume of the Encyclopedia Glaranica, or whatever. It only made sense that her assistant helped, given that one of the entries was dedicated to him. You helped Nino and managed to become her friend, even though you persuaded her to remember that fact. Commander of the Fifth Crusade, who had made the Galarian history. Darian Arende embraced his new life, one that was free of the other. He became more mature, his smile grew colder, and his choice of diversions more elaborate, and he acquired an imperious streak. Inquisitor Lythor's blood, Darian turned to evil to save his life, seemed to have let darkness into Darian's soul, or had it always been there. Whatever the case, in that darkness he was free and happy as never before. He never lost his respect, or should that be his fondness, for the commander, and would often visit him in Dresden. To his own surprise, Woljev Tefto became a war hero. His steam and fame were shortly followed by great wealth. The thiefling did not let his newfound fortune turn his head, but chose to invest the money in several profitable ventures and one charity for street urchins. Within a few years, his signature style came to include a top hat, a cane, and a bit of a belly. There was a lot of talk in the taverns of Absalom about the time soon after the end of the war when Woljev appeared in the city in the company of Count Darian Arende. It remains unclear whether Darian treated the thiefling as a wayward younger brother or a court jester, but he took pleasure in showing him the world. The third person in the group was rumored to be the commander himself. After the victory, Solso returned home. Now a famed Crusader hero, he humbly officiated at the Temple of Shailen, painted, grew sweet-smelling fruits, and made the best wine in the region. His former kindly smile turned less and less often. He avoided talking about the war, and when people asked him about his brother's fate, he just curtly replied that Trevor had been killed by demons. During the war, Solso met an engineer by the name of Aaron Pir. That meeting turned into friendship, which turned into love, and then it was time for the wedding. Later, the cleric would say that only the memory of his beloved had allowed him to cope with the terrors of the abyss and keep his sanity. The commander was those invited to the wedding. Having received an invitation to the wedding, Sayla was torn about whether or not she should attend. She felt her appearance at her friend's wedding would be a bad omen. In the end, she overcame her fears, and it was well worth it. Her stories and army songs were the highlight of the festivities. Edward Dren608 wrote a treatise on waging war against the demons, both a practical manual and a philosophical exhortation. And once that was done, he succumbed to the bleaching completely. He was posthumously reinstated in his order and buried with honors in the officer's cemetery. His treatise was used in all future wars against the abyss by mortals, angels, and devils alike. Before he died, he managed to send a letter to the commander. Did it contain a sincere farewells or a list of directives? Impossible to say. No one was privy to the contents except the recipients. I don't even know what it said. The war changed Greybor. I convinced him to return to his family. He left the assassin's craft behind and embarked on a search for his family. It took years to win their love again, but he had never been one to back down from a fight, and so he won that battle as well. Greybor hung his axe above the fireplace and became an upstanding citizen. The transformation was difficult for him, and many a time he would reminisce about the days of his daring youth. Still, there was one joy in family life that the dwarf could not have traded for anything in the world: his daughter, Mora. She grew up to be an exceptional warrior, and watching her train brought Greybor true happiness. Arishale had changed her nature completely, ridding herself of evil, but she would not dare to live among mortals. She took up residence in a small house away from their settlements. Shortly afterwards, rumors began to spread. Some said there was a kind sorceress living in the cottage, or perhaps a reclusive saint, and people would come to her asking for help. She never refused anyone, and in time, she earned their trust and friendship. Another of the commander's companions, Celia the Paladin, visited her sister-in-arms on a number of occasions to share tales of their latest adventures. Their meetings were always joyful and their conversations long and heartfelt. And that's that. And now, what's this? Sorry this is taking so long. I will try to put some markers in here.
And what of me, the writer of these words? The half-demon witch known as the architect of the world wound. My experiment ended in success. In the war between Galarian and the Abyss, I emerged the victor. It took 100 years and 1,000,000 deaths for me to bring back the one whose life had been so cruelly stolen away. And it cost one more death. My own. For him to keep on living.
Huh.
I have recounted the story of my life for you, Pharasma, Lady of Graves. Not only of my life, but of the Commander's also. I believe the tale of such an illustrious figure would pique even a goddess's curiosity.
Where's the storyteller? He should be recording all this.
Now you know everything. I await your verdict, goddess.
So this was all just her telling a story to the goddess Pharasma? How rude! Silent hangs over the boneyard. Pause and read that. Neutral plane where the souls of dead mortals from the material plane are judged by the goddess Pharasma. Lady of Graves is the goddess Pharasma. You can pause and read that. It's weighing her decision. It seems the entire universe is holding its breath, awaiting her pronouncement. Who would dare to break a silence so absolute? Shall I intervene? I'm rude. I'm rude. I will intervene. I'm the singing Cavalier. Though you're no longer here, your mythic powers entitle you to a say in this trial. I appeal to your mercy. The planes have suffered enough. Do not add to the evil already wrought by yet another act of evil. Okay. Or religion? I won't make that one. I appeal to your sense of justice. Great evil deserves a commensurate punishment, so I can make her be very bad. And I won't make that one. So it's one of the diplomacies. I'm going to go for mercy, because that's what I've been doing the whole game. Only one person I didn't give mercy to was Camellia, because she was unredeemable. She wasn't going to stop her killing, so I couldn't get her to be redeemed. So we're going to go with this and see what happens. I appeal to your mercy. Your words ring out in the silence. They are heard, considered, and given their due weight.
The laws of the universe have existed for millennia. They are incontrovertible, but even they allow the decider of fate some degree of influence over the verdict. You wrought great evil, while it stemmed from the evil that was done to you. Your actions far exceeded it. Your soul is dark, and there is only one place for you in the universe. And yet, the one whom you harmed most of all now appeals to me on your behalf.
Uh-huh.
I shall send you to the Maelstrom, the plane on the edge of the world. A place to which the gods' gazes do not stray. There you will find yourself. Or you will perish in the whirlwind of chaos that is your soul. So be it.
So I give her a chance to basically redeem herself by finding herself.
Now you, the mortal who has risen so high as to stand boldly in the presence of the goddess of fate.
Yeah, that's me.
You have done the impossible, and you will be remembered as long as this universe exists. Go, live out the rest of your life. I look forward to tales of your future deeds.
Is that it? Is that the game? The final threshold, I'm done. The end! Hooray! So there you go, guys. Like what you see, hit the thumbs up button. You really like to see, go ahead and subscribe. Hit the notify bell and I'll be notified to upload videos in our scheduled streams. I'm going to put up a poll, ask you if you want to see me go through the end phases here in the Dragon Path and on the Legendary Path. Knowing what I know now, I can skip through a bunch of things so we can just kind of have the highlights of the big battles for those two paths if you'd like. And if not, maybe you guys want me to try a different game altogether, and I'll hopefully get some comments on what you guys would like to try to see me do next as a blind playthrough. I also am willing to go and do this with a not blind playthrough, and you know, knowing what I know now, I can probably get through it a whole lot faster and maybe play a different kind of character. Both this and Pathfinder Kingmaker are up for that possibility. Alright, I'm Dren608. Until we meet again, stay safe, and bye-bye.